And then there is a big party for Sally Fuzzle-Andre. It is happening at Fuzzle Square. Chef Fuzzle Appleseed made a big cake. Everyone is very happy.
Well, Snoozer, I do declare this is the finest marshmallow sundae I have ever tasted.
Oh, I didn't make them. It was the Marshmallow Boy.
With my secret recipe.
Thank goodness it stopped.
Oh, goody two-shoes. This is the best party I've ever been to. But then, a giant monster, a Snarlifrogosaurus, comes out of the ground.
As in, it forms out of the elements that spawn from the ground.
No, there is actually a hole in the ground. The monster was living in a secret cave and nobody knew.
I am here, and I am ready to eat the cake.
Okay, monstrous beast. We will save you a slice.
I am not interested in a slice of your cake. I want the whole thing.
Now wait there just a minute. You can't take the cake from the Fuzzles.
Why, of course I can.
But this cake was made for the party. It is not nice to take things that don't belong to you.
I don't do nice.
Checkers, are you surprised the Snarlifrogosaurus is actually Dr. Devious?
Well, Snoozer, considering that Dr. Devious is the main antagonist of 78% of your games, I found it statistically likely that he would make a surprise appearance.
Inaccurate.
Okay, I will start over.
No, Snoozer, no. Perhaps you can come up with an idea that does surprise me. I want to see how this story ends.
Okay, so Snoozer and Dr. Devious are standing there, and Snoozer says, Dr. Devious, why are you so mean to the Fuzzles?
Simple. Because... What is this, Jeopardy? Why are you quizzing me?
They are very nice and happy, and all they want to do is have a birthday party. Why do you have to ruin it?
Because
Why?
because nobody celebrated my birthday, and I never got a birthday cake.
That is okay, Dr. Devious. We will have a party for you too. When is your birthday?
March 11th.
Oh, perfect. Okay, Fuzzles. We will have a party for Dr. Devious after this party. I will bake a cake. So everyone celebrates Sally Fuzzle-Andre's party, and then the Fuzzles celebrate Dr. Devious for his birthday. And everyone is happy. The end.
Tremendous tale, Snoozer. And I especially enjoyed how Snoozer stood up for the Fuzzles, and in the end, made a difference.
Thank you. Were you surprised that Dr. Devious was nice this time?
I was, Snoozer, I really was. But no more time to dilly-dally. We've got a job to do. We need to record another lesson for Mrs. Hamilton's class, and I know just the thing to do. Zod, give us a destination.
Randomly selecting a location. I have selected Susan B. Anthony Square.
Snoozer, we're going to somewhere to learn about history. Related to the game we did today. Somebody who always stood up for what was right no matter the cost. It's time for another reading road trip. Seatbelts.
Check. Backpack?
Check. Recording.
Check. Oh, wait. Recording.
Okay, ascending in 3, 2, 1. And
jazz, baby! Yay! I wonder what we will see today. Whoa! A statue! The standing man. Oh! He must be the person that always stood. Wow! He never ever sat down.
By standing up for what's right, I didn't literally mean standing, Snoozer. That was just a figure of speech.
A figure of speech?
Yes, that's a non-literal way of expressing an idea. To stand up for what's right means to take action against wrongdoing, to speak out and inspire others. And today we're going to learn about somebody who did all those things. Susan B. Anthony.
Who is that?
I think we should ask Zot. Zot, tell us about Susan B. Anthony.
Searching databases. Susan B. Anthony was a very intelligent woman who felt that women should have the same rights as men. She saw this in the workplace first, when she was making about 1/4 of what a man would make for the same job. This didn't seem right to her. She became involved in trying to get the government to let women vote and to enact laws that women should have equal rights with men. At first, she would speak at conventions and meetings. She helped run a civil rights newspaper with fellow women's activist Elizabeth Cady Stanton, called The Revolution. To continue her fight for women's suffrage, Susan B. Anthony voted in the November 1872 elections. This was illegal at the time, and she was fined $100 for voting. She refused to pay the fine. Together with Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan founded the National Women's Suffrage Association in 1869. It was through this organization that Anthony would work to get women the right to vote. She devoted the next 37 years to this effort. During this time, Susan made considerable progress, but it would take another 14 years after she died to get women the right to vote. On August 18, 1920, the 19th Amendment was ratified in the Constitution. It said everyone had the right to vote, regardless of gender. Susan had first introduced this amendment in 1878.
Interesting.
Inching inchworms. Checkers. Now I know who Susan B. Anthony is.
You do, Snoozer, and now is a great time to tell you we are going to a place that she lived and did some of her most important work.
Yay! When are we going?
Well, we're on the way right now, but we have some things to do first. Let's pull up the map. We are headed to Rainbow Way. Once we cross through the rainbow, it will take us right to our destination, Rochester, New York, where we will learn about Susan B. Anthony. Along the way, we're going to stop and do a craft with your teacher, Mrs. Hamilton. And,
It's the books!
let's check out a few.
What books did we get?
Here you go, Snoozer.
Ready to read. You should meet John Lewis by Denise Lewis Patrick. And right now, Real Kids Speaking Up for Change by Miranda Paul.
Wonderful. Snoozer, I believe it's time for a closer look. Entering in 3, 2, 1. John Lewis. This story will teach us all about the civil rights icon. Let's go.
A farm! Chickens!
From a young age, John Lewis knew when something wasn't right. He befriended and cared for chickens when nobody else would. His family lived on a farm, and he had to work in an unfair system.
What does that mean?
The world John Lewis grew up in was very unfair to black citizens. They weren't allowed all the rights of white citizens.
That isn't fair! What did John do?
He became very smart. He visited his local library, Troy Library, and read. He worked incredibly hard in school. Eventually, John was inspired by a broadcast of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, I've heard of him!
I'll bet you have, Snoozer. The book then follows John Lewis's many triumphs and challenges along his journey to becoming a member of the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C.
Cool!
Very cool. This book is pretty long because it has so much information about John Lewis's life. If you read it all the way through, you will know all of John Lewis's story and why he is so celebrated. And there is even some other special information in the back of the book on John Lewis and other great activists.
Checkers, we should go to Troy Library. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Absolutely. But first, we have to go check out book number 2. Let's go.
A flower! A sunflower!
Right now, real kids speaking up for change. This is a book about real kids who have taken a stand, speaking out for their causes.
So these are real people in real life?
Yes, each colorful page includes a mini bio on the influential kid and what cause they fight for. Like Jalen Arnold, who speaks up for kids with disabilities and against bullying.
And look, Checkers, these children stand up for animals. John Lewis would like these kids.
I imagine he would. This book is a way to see what people around the world have done, even though they are young. And it can serve as an inspiration that everyone can make a difference in some way.
I'm excited to read this book. I want to hear everyone's story.
And that we will do. But first, it's time to resume the reading road trip.
Woohoo! Wowie! I'm inspired. What now?
What now? It's time for Mrs. Hamilton's class.
Checkers! When will we be there?
When will we be there? How about this, Snoozer? How about right now?
Oh!
Well, hello, Snoozer. So nice of you to stop in. How are you doing today?
I am doing great, Mrs. Hamilton.
Oh, that's so great to hear. Well, today we are making our very own Susan B. Anthony coin.
I just learned about her.
Well, that's great, but this isn't colored, so we have to color it first, and then we're gonna cut it out. And then we'll always have a memory of what Susan B. Anthony looks like.
Awesome!
You wanna see my real coin, though? This is a real Susan B. Anthony coin. It's not quite as big, is it?
No, it's little.
It is little. But once we have this, we can always remember just what it looks like. So all we're gonna need for this is our sheet, and then a crayon or a marker, and some scissors. So, as you notice, this coin is all one color because it's a silver. It's a silver coin. So I'm just gonna use my silver crayon, but you can do yours however you want. Okay, now to cut it out. Well, what do you think?
I like it, Mrs. Hamilton. Here is my coin. Susan B. Anthony has stylish sunglasses. Pretty cool.
Snoozer, I love how you always make things your own. So, if you have more time, you can maybe draw yourself on the back if you'd like, because maybe someday you'll grow up and be so important that they want to remember you by putting your face on the coin. Well, I'll see you next time, Snoozer.
Bye-bye. And then I gave Susan B. Anthony sunglasses. I did this because it was sunny out, and she wants to see. Checkers, do you think I should have given her a ball cap also?
The sunglasses should suffice, Snoozer. Listen, we're about to enter the rainbow. Are you prepared?
Oh my gosh! It snuck right up on me! Let's do it!
All right. Going through the rainbow. Ugh, a little bit of rain, Snoozer.
I hope that doesn't ruin our visit, Checkers.
Well, Snoozer, rain wouldn't stop Susan B. Anthony, so we can't let it stop us either. Let's go. This is a place where Susan B. Anthony and friends like Frederick Douglass would gather to discuss political movements, like the women's suffrage movement and the abolitionist movement. It's a very historic place. Why don't we take a walk around?
Yes! That would be great!
Here is Susan B. Anthony's house. This is the building Susan lived and worked on the women's suffrage movement, and where she was arrested for illegally voting. Here, she, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and other activists wrote The Revolution, the newspaper Zot told us about. They also planned conventions and protests here. They even had to add another floor to the house because there were so many people who were part of the movement. Well, Snoozer, what did you think of this place?
That was fun. But Checkers, it happened a long time ago. I want to do something now.
You want to do something now?
Yes, I want to do something to help.
Well, Snoozer, if Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony were here, they would want to stand up for what's right. Maybe there's something that we could stand up for.
We can stand up for library funding.
A library? Yes, that's a great idea, Snoozer. You know what? I've got some markers and poster in our van. Why don't we go make a sign?
Yeah.
Look, 1872 Cafe. Named after the year Susan B. Anthony voted in the presidential election. Right next door to the cafe is the ballot she voted in. Still preserved to this day. All right, Snoozer, how does this look?
Aw, cool. But let's color it in.
That is a great idea, Snoozer. Let's go. What do you think?
Now it is perfect. We are here. Now we can protest. Save our libraries. Save our libraries. Save our libraries. Woohoo!
Zot the robot at your service. Today's selections are What's My Superpower by Avij Johnston, Susan B. Anthony, Her Fight for Equal Rights by Monica Cooling, When Martin Luther King Jr. Wore Roller Skates by Mark Andrew Wakeland, The Invisible Boy by Trudy Ludwig, Ready to Read You Should Meet John Lewis by Denise Lewis Patrick, Right Now, Kids Speaking Up for Change by Miranda Paul. These are today's book selections. Goodbye.
Wow, Checkers! All these people do all these amazing things. But what else can we do?
Well, Snoozer, I like to think that we can make a difference by reading and inspiring other children and people all around the world to read as well.
Oh, so my mission is reading and learning.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of which, we have completed another road trip. We're going to send this file off to the Fuzzleland School for Mrs. Hamilton so that she can share our lesson with the Fuzzles and everybody can watch our reading road trip. And that's all for now, Snoozer. Until next time.